Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome to Mentor Coaching Success, and in this part we're going to look at our PCC level skill for competency number 8 on facilitating clients' growth. Now specifically we're going to look at how do we partner with clients to design actions, accountability process and goal settings, and how to integrate those learnings at least at the PCC level and beyond. Now, for those of you who are just wondering how do we do this at the ACC level, do watch our videos in the first 2 parts of the episodes and then come back to this part here because this will layer on our learnings at the ACC level. So let's dive right in right now because I'm going to share with you a particular tool that will be very useful for you in your discussions. And the way we're going to do it, as you watch this, I want you to think about a potential topic that your client has in mind, a typical topic client has, so that you can walk with me through this whole journey. So let's take a look at this. Now the co-creative tool, it's called Design Goals and Actions Level 2, a shift from a linear approach of design to a non-linear ecological approach to design. And I call this Design Goal, not the G-O-A-L, but G-O, to go forward. And with the idea of a future approach. So P-U-T-U-R-E, future. And that's the 7 points here. The first P, future-oriented. Sometimes I call this future-oriented questionings, goals that are forward-moving and not backward-fixing. What do I mean by that? Means that the goals should be oriented towards an outcome to help the client move forward, not to help the client to kind of resolve the past, because the past is in the past, right? We want to spend energy and effort to help the client move forward from here henceforth. Next, U, uplifting and compelling. How do we help the client to create a sense of challenge and empowering a goal and actioning that will help them uplift the spirits and help them to have this compelling movement forward, right? If the goals are not challenging enough, if the goals are kind of too easily to be achievable, it becomes boring and there isn't a sense of growth for the client. Now next, it's about the sense of resolve, that's the R, right? So how do we help the client to have this resolve on the inside of them? The inner gumption, sometimes I call this. How to help the client to kind of have this gumption to really push forward, to move forward in the sense. Next, it's about the sense of timeliness in a manner that is in season and timed. So it's not about just having a boundary of the time, but what is done in season. It's more important than what's done out of season. Number 5, unforgettable. Having the sense of refreshing memories of the journey. How do we create an experience, a learning journey, goals, actions that refreshes the memories rather than make the person hate the journey? You know, too often people go to the gym and they kind of hate it because it's like, wow, it's so tiring. I got to lift the weights and everything. It's a tiring journey. We want to make the journey a refreshing one, unforgettable experience. Number 6, risk. So that determines the extent of comfort and growth for the client. If there's no risk, there's going to be really little stretch and growth for the client, because if everything is just risk-free, there isn't a place for the client to go further, to stretch the boundaries of the reality, and they're not really exercising their muscles at all. And next, energizing. Does the goals drain or motivates and drives you towards? Energizing is so important. When you have goals and actions that are not energizing you, then they are de-energizing you, which means that every time you think about doing it, it's like, it's the blah feeling coming over. Sometimes I call this a sensation. It's just coming all over you, right? It just feels so sian. Sian, it's a Singaporean colloquial language to mean a very set of boredom that just overwhelms you, right? So do you want to have an energized approach to your actions, or do you want actions to kind of be like, it sounds good, you know, it's what people would think of, but you know what, when I think about doing it, it's not something I'm going to do it because it's just going to drain me, it's going to tire me out. We want to energize the client, but not exhaust the client. Goals and actioning should energize the client towards, but not exhaust the client. Sometimes, as a coach, you may want the best for your clients. You say, "Hey, client, let's do it. Let's go 100%. Let's go 120%. Let's go 200%. Let's go 1,000%. Yeah." And the client is like, "Yes." In that moment, in the adrenaline rush, yes. But those are not sustainable. They're not sustainable in the long run. And that's why when you look back at our videos, we talk about the 3 elements, the 3 circles, right? The 3 circles of desirability, feasibility, and viability. It has to be sustainable. If the goals is just a forward push just for once and it's not sustainable, then the clients are not going to find joy in doing what they do. They may achieve that, but he may give it up. There was a story of a young boy that I read. When he was very young, the parents trained him, to have a very wonderful physique at a very young age. And he was on magazines, he was on competitions, and people were just saying, wow, how do you achieve that bodily physique at such a young age? And over time, right, when he grew older, he decided to give that all up, because he couldn't find the inner congruence, the inner satisfaction that's energizing him. In fact, each year that it goes forward, the more he discovers and learns more about himself, the more it de-energizes him, because that's not what he really wants to do. Now, to fast forward to today, he's no longer that bodybuilder, and his physique is not the same as he was in the past, but he's very happy with his life. He's comfortable where he is. He feels a greater sense of self. When we are coaching our clients, is to help them find a greater sense of self. At the PCC level, it's not about telling the client what you should do, what you should not do. It's not about us telling. It's not about us giving suggestions of the design actions. There's a switch now. At the PCC level, it's about us hearing for what is energizing the client. It's for us hearing what is the inner resolve to tie that in. It's for us hearing the total approach of the client. What is the client desiring? What's the client's motivation, their emotions about these actions? So you're beginning to hear the totality of the client, and that's a clear distinction from an ACC level to a PCC level in terms of the design of actions. Right, at the PCC level, it's really about not just the actions as a very linear function, but tying the actions to the learnings, to the emotions, to the outcomes, to where the client wants to be as a whole person. And when we use this future-oriented, uplifting, compelling, resolve, timeliness, unforgettable experience, risk, and energizing, these are the elements that will really help make that actioning and goal setting a little bit more robust for the client. So right now, I want you to pause this video in the comment section below. Right now, I want you to think about a topic. Okay, think about a topic that your client probably is facing or you're facing, and I want you to try and ask these questions, right? How would you ask questions to help evoke a sense of future orientation? How would you ask questions in a sense of uplifting? Give some potential questions to these 7 categories in the comment section below under this YouTube video right now. And I want you to have your friends to kind of comment and give some thoughts about the ideas of your questions to facilitate discussions in a more robust manner. So before you do that as a team, I want you first individually to watch and pause this part, and then pose your potential questions you could ask your clients to stimulate this conversation with them. And then in your teams, discuss the various elements, and your mentor coach in your teams will also get you guys to do some examples, get you guys to to kind of reflect and integrate some of the learnings that you're getting from this session. Okay, so there you have the ACC level, PCC level of this journey of core competency number 8, which is on facilitating clients' growth. So right now, pause this video, do what I've just mentioned, post in the comment section below, and really review that. And whenever ready, you may continue with the rest of the video. So congratulations, right now, you've been able to integrate what we've talked about in terms of the ability of desirability, viability, feasibility in that integrated whole, in terms of designer actions, not just in the linear sense, but also getting a sense of where the client wants to be, the total or whole of the person approach in actioning process. Now, this is a skill set. It's not a categorical sense, it's not a sequential sense, but as we are listening to the client, as the clients are getting learnings, insights, and that's being unraveled in that moment, the clients are beginning to find those connections deep within themselves. So I want you to post in this comment section below as well, what are you learning about this competency number 8 on facilitating clients' growth? And this is something that we do in our mentor coaching success. Every single month as we come together, exploring, digesting, unraveling, demystifying, something really wonderful happens. We begin to raise in our skill sets, become more confident in our ability to be more precise in our coaching, and we're able to raise the game and helping our clients to achieve a more compelling future. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up, share this with your friends, and I want you to revisit this video again and again, especially if those of you are going for your ACC or PCC level. It will be very helpful for your preparation, and I'll encourage you to come and join us for your mentor coaching success. And this is where Coaching Changes Lives will really help you to become more skilled as a coach and help you become more confident in your coaching approach with your clients.